And as you can see, we found some monkeys. This is a vervet monkey. It's the only monkey we get in this area of South Africa. And thankfully, this individual is very relaxed and got a comfortable pose and perch there as he suns himself, or she suns himself. I'm actually not sure if it's a male or a female. And there was a fish eagle calling in the background that you may have been able to hear. That was my whistle. That will give you an indication of the noise to look for. It may call again. This vervet monkey is taking a time off to enjoy the sunshine and warm up after what would have been a cold and miserable evening. And it looks like Viam's found another one to show you. I'm not sure. There we go. There's some more members of this troop perched high up in a knobthorn tree. But they're all very relaxed and I think equally damp and miserable this morning. Thankfully the sun is out and they should heat up and be back to their playful monkey business in not too much time. It's great that we know where these monkeys are now, because there has been leopard movement in this area and we've been following tracks hoping to find a female leopard whose tracks were very fresh after the rain. And if these monkeys saw her, they would let out their alarm calls and help us to confirm that there was a leopard in this specific area. But for now, as you can tell, they are very, very relaxed. You can also see the beautiful blue skies, and it's going to be a magical day. Now, apologies for the signal breakup as we were arriving at Twin Dams, where I mentioned that I was hoping to find the female leopard that we are looking for, walking down towards the dam to drink, and there was no sign of her coming through there. Well, here starts the monkey business. And they do spend a lot of time grooming one another and building bonds and relationships within the troop. And that's exactly what we can see happening here. It looks like two youngsters that are playing with one another. Well, we can tell that it's a young male, I'm guessing, at the back now from the little stunt he tried to pull off there. And now there, he's looking for little parasites and fleas and ticks. But you can always tell from the expression on its face that it's a little bit miserable and not quite ready for play yet. I can see their tails are literally almost dripping with water. It's something that us as humans don't often think about and realize is the effects of being out in the rain for a whole night. Imagine that. We have the benefits of being able to move into dry and warm places when the weather becomes bad, but they just have to sit out and deal with it. And that's why you can tell they're a little bit bedraggled this morning. Well, good morning, Georgianne in Illinois, and welcome on board this sunrise safari. Georgiana is interested to know whether Vervet monkey troops will have territories, and they certainly will, and they'll compete with other troops for prime territories. In urban areas of South Africa, this can often be documented very well because you can have high populations of these animals living in amongst us humans, and where they occur obviously in close proximity to us allows us to monitor them more closely. And I have noticed, oh, look at this. It's pulling a tongue at us. That is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Oops. Obviously didn't like whatever it was chewing on. It was in the process of spitting it out.
Had a rough night last night.
Sorry?
Had a rough night?
Yeah, a rough night last night. Now he's paying the price. It's something that I haven't seen them doing before. But he's chewing on something and it's almost inducing a small vomit. So, yeah, who knows what's going on or what's causing that. But animals will occasionally feed on things to either induce diarrhea, to flush out their system, or vomiting. So that's all I can really read into from this behavior. But it's all these little things that you learn about animals by spending time with them. It almost looks like some kind of a dance move he's pulling off with that head. And you can just see a little pink tongue curled up, poking out as it goes along. Now, watch closely, because the individual closest to us on the end of that wobbly branch could tumble down from the sky at any stage. That branch is weak, and knobthorn trees are not the strongest of woods or hardest of woods. So at any point that little branch could give way. They obviously have a very good gauge as to branches and the strength of branches relative to their weight. So you don't often see it, but with younger monkeys like this one, with less experience and wisdom, you sometimes see them taking tumbles. But not today.
Yeah, there's also a small clump of dragon boys also in the Beggars Road.
Okay, another good question has just come through, and this one was from Lisa, and it links in with Georgianne's question regarding territories, because Lisa's interested to know whether they sleep in the same trees every night, and it goes through stages. There's no set rule, but they will have certain trees that they will sleep in more often than not within their territory. But there could be between 5 and 10 trees as a rough idea as to how many potential sleeping sites they could have within a territory. And a lot just depends on the amounts of food and their general movements as to whether they will sleep in the same tree for a few nights. I know with baboons it's similar. You may find that they do have their favorite trees to sleep in, but you never know where they will decide to sleep. Well, thanks for the questions, and thanks to the monkeys for their very relaxed behavior, and really interesting to see that one vomiting. But I think it is time to continue and see what else we can find. Like I did say earlier, though, it's going to be a very, very useful point for us to know that the monkeys are right here. Because even if we move off a couple of miles from here, if a leopard does pop into the area, they'll start shouting, and that will then indicate to us that we need to rush back here and see what they are shouting at. I have just got some feedback through from Stefan and Peter, who have headed out together this morning to try and help find some animals for us. And they've got tracks of, in all likelihood, Karula, a female leopard, close to the Gowrie Dam, and then from there she headed up to the quarantine clearings. That was the last I've heard. I'm not sure whether that the female tracks we were following earlier from Treehouse Dam were the same leopard tracks, or whether it's a different female, but good to know that there is a female leopard that's moved up in that area.